Hello. Welcome back to another How I Made video today. We got back in time. This is back in time. What a beautiful project it is. What was super rad about this one, I think this is my favorite song that I've ever making. Or, you know what I mean? It's my favorite song to make because it was just so fun. Let's get right into it. Why don't we? We're gonna start out with the drums, which are all MIDI. They're fake, all of them. They're all fake. I just wanted something really crisp and simple, and something that I didn't have to think about. And this was before I started hiring people to play drums. So I just had this crisp, clean loop. That I made. It's super simple. There's nothing too complex about it. Nothing wrong with that, right? So yeah, that's really it for the drums. I just had that beautiful loop. I decided not to do too much on the verses, especially verse 1. I didn't do anything because I was like, you know what, dude? I want this to be a very intimate guitar-y song. So that's what I kind of went for with it. It was a great time. Guitars next. There are a lot of guitars. Starting out with just the classic, good old normal guitar that you hear at the very beginning. Ooh, how beautiful. I wanted something with a ton of reverb, a ton of space, a ton of everything, as much of whatever as you could put on it. So I did a lot of summing stacks, and I really dialed into that reverby sound. It's just a very simple chord progression. 1, 2, 5, 1. Very common. Doesn't mean it's bad. And second guitar, I added this little baddie in it, which is just all of the chords strummed out, all nice and smooth. Just to get a little extra beef on that. And I panned both of those left and right. So they really work together. Guitar 3 and 4 that I put in are the leads that you hear. Oh yeah. I wanted 2 of those for some silly reason. I don't know why I put both of them on the right, but I did, and that's what we're going with. Yeah. I honestly don't remember doing them both on the right. I think I might have done one to the left and then accidentally goofed it up sometime in the past. I don't know. I made this song in like October, so it's been a long time. So I don't really know what was going through my head with both of those going to the right, but that's what they are, I guess. So I'm not complaining. They sound great. The solo is just a solo. It's not anything crazy special. It's just the solo. I wanted all the guitars to be the same because I wanted it to feel like that it was a very live, natural feel, like everything was being done by 1 or 2 people, which includes the second verse, which has that first classic guitar take in it. I also did a second guitar strumming, which is further in the back. Very, very nice. Most of the song is up in the really high register, so I was like, how cool would it be if we just did the same thing but lower? And it was a good idea. I'm glad we did it like that. This little buddy was just some ear candy that I tossed in. Nothing too important. Very simple, very nice. Just added to the feel that it's a different verse, you know? And then I kept it going throughout the choruses. I just kept repeating it and repeating it. And then it got a little more intense. I think by accident. But it really just did that for the rest of the song, minus this little break I had right in this little section. But yeah, that's really all the guitars. Altogether, it does sound very sweet. And now that you like hear all the individual parts, you're like, wow, they all work together really well. That's exactly what I was going for. Working together really well. The bass is so incredibly simple. It's really just one note, just the root notes. I got this nice tremolo on the bass. Yeah, it's just root notes. It's just root notes. Nothing super complex until the outro, where I have another I just wanted a little bit more tension, and the bass line I feel like did a pretty good job of that. It's far back in the mix. It's pretty difficult to hear, but that's one of the best parts, you know? Having it be a little bit difficult to hear is just joyous sometimes, because you got to really dig deep to find it, and that's kind of what I had in mind. But yeah, all the guitars all together. Ooh, so sweet. So nice. Cool. Let's move on to the synths. I only had 2 synths with this whole thing. This one, which is so quiet. Very, very quiet. And this other one, those are just like singular notes. This next one is just more chords. A very nostalgic sound, and I love that. I love the nostalgic sounds. All of this, both of these synths, I think they're both no, this one's a little bit different. But both of these synths are stock. They're not both called Warren Flutters. I think the second one is. The first one's called Dark Percussion, I think. But they're both stock on Logic. They're great. I like stock. I don't love changing stuff sometimes, and that's all right. That's all right. Vocals are cool. I originally did recorded the song with this Verispeed setting at 0. Everything except the vocals was done at this. And I was like, ooh, what if it was just a tiny bit faster? So I sped it up 4%. And that seemed to be like the sweet spot. And then I recorded the vocals on top of that. And it went pretty well, you know? But it was a little bit tricky because I like being in the key. I like things correct. I like things right. Very stable. That's why all of my drums are super quantized, because I'm such a freak for keeping things in time. Same with the synths. So it was really tricky for me to sing in between keys, but we did it anyways. And
lately I've been thinking about you.
And the delay that Logic gave me was great. Sometimes it was great.
And
sometimes it was great. Echo. It made me sound a little robotic, which I leaned into a lot, especially when it came back to the backups.
Want to go back in time.
They're like slight baby little crackles and stuff that I just didn't hate. So I kept them in. I was like, I don't really want to do another vocal take. I like the way this one sounds. And when I was like showing it to people, the really defined people that were like coming in and like looking at this for me and with me and stuff, they were like, no, you got to redo some of these. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I just did some doubles, panned them left and right, as you can see here. And that seemed to do the trick as far as filling the space really well. Vocals 4 and 5 were go back in time. They do that. And, oh, they're magical.
Go back in time.
I put a ton of delay on those. Tons of tape delay. And a little bit of chorus, too. Why not, right? By themselves, they sound atrocious. With everything else, they sound less atrocious.
Back in time. I want to go.
And it makes that like gross little minor chord, but it sounds super good when you add in the guitars.
I want to go.
Oh, the dissonance. It was crazy cool. I like that. This last vocal. Whoa, 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 whoa. That took a long time to do. Many warm-ups later. But it's there. It's awesome. It's great. But yeah, that's really it. This was a great, fun song to make. Quite a lot, but also not a lot going on. Overall, I think the whole thing took me about 3 weeks to punch out, which is a bit longer than most of my other projects. But I had a great time. I was having so much fun when I was making this. I'm not even upset that it took as long as it did. Normally, I'd be like, bro, let's get this over with. But this one was super fun. I was having the time of my life. So yeah, back in time.
Back in time. Want to go.
If you guys like this, drop a comment, drop a like. Let me know what I should do next. Yeah, what song do you want to hear? We've done All Mine, we've done Fine, and we just did Back in Time. So, whatever song you guys want to hear next, comment below, and then I'll teach you how I made it. Thank you for watching.